Time to fight fear with faith. Jody Paar is a survivor who is no longer staying silent. She and her guest will fuel you up so you too can fight fear. Uplifting and inspirational stories that will rock you to your core. We don't tiptoe around the truth. We steamroll it in a bold way. This is your life, and now is the time to start living it. Get ready for the Faith Over Fear podcast with Jody Paar. Now, welcome Jody Paar to inspire you.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Faith Over Fear. I am Jody Paar and super excited you are all here today listening and watching. I have an amazing guest today. I'm so excited about this podcast. He is an overcomer. He's amazing. He's an author. His name is Jonte Hall. And Jonte is author of Spiritual Fitness Survivor. I so love that title so very much.
Co-author.
Okay.
Yeah,
co-author.
yeah.
Still,
Yeah.
Hey, you're in the book. It's
Thank you, Jody. Thank you.
And
Thank
he's
you.
smiling also. So Jonte, I'm going to turn it over to you. I'm so excited for you to tell your story. Tell us the first time that you felt fear.
The first time I felt fear is when I first played organized basketball.
Okay.
I received my first basketball at the age of 6, and I was always afraid to play organized basketball because I didn't know what to expect. And so I knew I was short at the time. Well, I'm still short, but I knew I was like even shorter then. And
Like
the rest of the guys,
against you, right?
yes.
Gotcha.
And the guys was extremely taller than me. So I pretty much I don't think I'm good enough to play organized basketball. So that's the first time I felt fear.
Did any of the other students give you a hard time about that? Did you tell people I'm going to play basketball and they're like, no, you're not, there's no way you're going to play basketball. You're too short. Of
course. When I first started playing, all the way up until now, I still hear the naysayers.
Yeah.
So back then it was like, Jonte, you too small, dude. Why are you here? Why are you playing? Heard that when I was 9, all up into high school, college, even when I got with the generals, the Globetrotters opponents, I heard the same thing. Why are you here? You too small. Get out of here. So I'm kind of used to all that, the negative and the naysayers.
Yeah. So tell me one specific time that maybe somebody said that to you that it really made you feel maybe fear or maybe afraid of your dreams. Is there a time that you can remember that?
Yes, of course. Let's see. It was one situation. Well, I had a couple situations where I felt fear when I got older, pertaining to basketball. I had some, how can I put it? I had some relatives and friends I grew up with, Jonte, and these were close people in my circle, close friends.
Yeah.
And he was like, man, I think you should give it up, man. I think you should focus on something else. And the fear that I had in my heart, wow, maybe I should. It was one of my best friends told me this, it's telling me this at the time. And it's like, okay, maybe I should give up. Maybe I need to focus on something else. And that's one situation. Another situation, I had fear when I found out my mom had MS.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. So with that fear, it made me drop out of college. I don't like to use that term dropout, but it is what it is. I had to stop going to school and take care of my mother, work a regular job. And that's the fear I had of losing my mom,
Yeah.
So two kind of situations.
Back to back.
Yeah, back to back. So it's when I was I had this dream of becoming a professional basketball player, but I'm having people tell me, you shouldn't do it, you're too small, whatever, trying to put fear in my heart. Well, actually, it did put fear in my heart. And then, through all that, finding out my mom had MS, and it was wow, kind of went through a depression stage.
Which is normal, especially what age were you at when that happened?
Well, my mom recently told me this when I got older. she told me she was going to do some symptoms when I was 4 years old.
Wow.
And when I got in my early 20s, that's when she had, MS, multiple sclerosis, like they have episodes, where they could be good one time, and then next minute, them muscles and stuff go down. And so my mom described the feeling that she have. So imagine if you outside for a long period of time and your body just go numb, you get so cold and you go numb.
Mm.
So my mom explained to me that's how her whole body feel.
Wow.
And yes, so dealing with that in my 20s, and like, okay, I'm like talking to myself. I'm like, Jonte, okay, you want to play basketball, but you can't right now. You got to put it on hold. You got to work and take care of your mother. So.
Which really shows your heart. Can I just say that?
Absolutely.
It
Oh yeah,
totally
absolutely.
shows your heart. It shows, your priorities, even that you put your
Mm-hmm.
dreams on the back burner. And I believe that's why everything, what we're going to talk about in a little bit, came and happened for you, because of the fact that you did that. Because it's hard to put your dreams on hold, but
Absolutely.
when it's a loved one, and especially your
Mm-hmm.
mom, you do whatever you can to help her. And so I think that that's beautiful. Back to the person, even the family member who told you that, give it up, it's not going to happen for you, it's
Mm-hmm.
not going to, I can relate to that, because
Yeah.
people, I always say, you're a reflection of them. So if they don't think that they can do it, then they're surely
Absolutely.
not going to think that you can do it, right?
I
But you
agree.
had that passion in your heart that you knew that that was something that you wanted to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you kept going. You played. Did you play basketball in high school?
Yes, I did. I was so tiny in my ninth grade year. I
Yeah.
was only 4'9".
Wow.
4'9". I probably was weighing about 90 something pounds. And I played junior varsity my freshman year, and the coach wanted to play me varsity, but I mean, I have to admit, I was like not just short in stature, but I was like, I have no meat on me. Like I was like very like skinny. And he wanted to play me at varsity my first year, but
So how
he
did
said,
you
well,
feel when he told you that? When he asked you to do that, how did you feel?
I mean, I wasn't upset or anything. I just dealt with it because I kind of agree with him. Like them guys were huge.
So there was some
And
fear in there, I think. I think
it
that's
was, it was, it
your
was like,
thing.
you know what? It was a fear there. It
Yeah.
was. So I feared a little bit. And because I knew I was good enough, but I felt like my body wasn't built enough for that. And I accepted my role playing junior varsity my first year. And then after my first year, I moved up to varsity my sophomore year. And I didn't look back. After that, it was just like varsity sophomore year, junior year was varsity, senior year varsity. And I had some of my best years out of high school. My freshman year, I had a pretty good year as far as points and stuff like that. And my senior year was phenomenal.
Yeah. So let me ask you this. As you continued to play basketball, you probably earned so much respect from so many people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they
Mm-hmm.
see you, and it's the
Absolutely.
odds are against you, and it looks like, you would never play basketball. Most people in your situation would have been like, you know what, I'm too small. I get that. I'm not going to go for my dream. But you didn't do
Mm-hmm.
that. You're like, hey, I can feel the fear, but I'm moving forward anyway. I can feel the fear, but I'm blocking out the naysayers and the ones that say they can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that so much. So each year that you played, you got stronger not only physically, but you got stronger mentally,
Absolutely.
right?
Yep. Absolutely. And that that was like when I was going through the naysayers, starting in high school. When I was going through that stuff, it kind of motivated me, and you can't teach. I don't think you could teach because I think it starts with mental. You're
It does.
mentally,
Mm-hmm.
and I think if you're not mentally tough for certain situations, I just think that um, that plays a major role in people's lives, the mental. And mentally back then I was strong mentally. I gotta like pat myself on the back
Yeah, for
because
sure.
I could have, because dealing with, you know, your living environment, coming from Baltimore, coming from uh, like poverty, you seeing a lot of the early age, offer drugs, offer to sell it, offer to do it. All these things are happening
You just gave me
when
chill bumps. I gotta stop you because you just totally gave me
I'm
chill bumps.
sorry. I gave you chill bumps. I'm sorry. I'm
Yes,
sorry. I'm sorry. I need to
because
give you chill bumps.
it's all about overcoming, and
Yeah, it is.
that's what you did.
It
That's
is. Yeah, I did overcome. Yeah. Yeah. So Jody, so I wasn't just faced like back then. It wasn't just about basketball. It was about survival. It was
yeah,
about, okay, I have to survive this area where I'm living at, seeing all this violence, offer drugs, offer to do it. A lot of friends losing their lives, getting locked up. So all this is going on while I'm trying to pursue basketball.
wow.
And it's like at the time, it's like you had a choice. Okay, if you want to be a bad boy, you want to hang out in the streets, you want to sell drugs, okay, you go left. Okay,
Mhm.
you want to be you want to be a good boy, but you need money, so you go right. But if you want to just be straight and just focus, go straight.
Which I'm pretty sure not many people did. So it's
No,
a
absolutely.
very amazing person to do that.
Oh, thank you so much. It
No,
was hard, Jody. It was extremely hard. Like a lot of prayers, a lot of, just a lot of blood and sweat and tears, and it was tough. It was tough.
yeah, because I mean, you not only had the fear of your mom, you had the fear of
Hmm.
the living environment that you were in, you had the fear
Absolutely.
of probably just leaving your home,
Hmm.
and yet here you are, 4'9", and by gosh, you're gonna make it, and you're gonna do this,
Yes.
and you're gonna.
Yes.
It just gives me chill bumps because it's like
Oh,
I love how God works. I love how
amen.
He
Amen.
can get in there, and it doesn't matter
Yes.
what it looks like on paper, and He can let you step into your blessing. And I just
Absolutely.
love that. So tell us, all the way up to high school, you're varsity playing high school now.
Hmm.
What's next?
So, so I had the right colleges, Jody. Like I had the right colleges to come see me. Like so by the time my senior year of high school, I was about 4'11", 4'11". And I was right in colleges and I had to boost up my height. So I'm 4'11" at the time. So I was telling schools that I'm 5'5". Because at the time, there's a guy by the name of Earl Boykins. He was in the NBA when I was like trying to pursue my high school, college. And I was like, okay, since he's in the NBA at 5'5", I might as well put that on the paper that I'm 5'5". So didn't get no response. It was nothing. And a lot of my teammates were recruited coming out of high school. I wasn't. So it was like, wow, what I do? It go back to like, okay, if I want to go left, go right, or I want to stay focused. And I still had that mentality. I wanted to stay focused.
Wow.
And I said, you know what, Jonte, you just got to hang in there and, and see where God take you. So after high school, I walked on to a community college, CCBC Catonsville. That's in Baltimore County. And the guy didn't really play me as much. I didn't get much time. I guess my height played a part in it. And he was like, okay, Jonte, it's hard to explain. And I get back until that situation. So about the coach that coached me in college. So when I played, like I didn't understand. I mean, I love him to this day, but I didn't understand his philosophy of like his coaching mentality. Like I didn't understand it. Okay, I'm having a good game, and then the next day you don't play me. So it's like, wow, like I had 15 points yesterday
Wow.
and you're not playing me today. So that was like a kick, like that was like a thorn
Yeah.
inside my heart. Yeah. And I could have easily gave up right there, but I said, you know what, Jonte, God got you. Keep praying. Stay motivated. Your time gonna come.
Yeah.
So yeah, Jody. So it was tough all through my life. Tough.
So tell me when it turned around for you. Tell me when the toughness and, like I always say, when the faith started happening, where the door started opening, where things started to turn around for you, where the light started to come in.
Okay. There was a couple like situations where I felt God presence. The first one was when I went to it was a tryout. It was the tryout and back in 2005, I want to say 506. And it was my first tryout, Jody. I was working a part-time job at the time, making $7 an hour and wasn't getting much money, but it helped me get to where I need to get at.
Right.
So I saved my money up. I took a train ride to North Carolina, and Jody, I was extremely nervous. Fear, like that.
Yeah.
I'm starting to notice what I feared. So
Yeah.
that was one of my fears.
Oh, yeah.
Leaving the nest. Never been out of Baltimore, and I'm going to this different state, North Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina, and first tryout, Jody, and it was the NBA Development League tryout. So to all the listeners out there, so when you have your NBA, so your NBA is like your varsity in high school. So the NBA Development League, now it's called the G League, it's your junior varsity.
Okay.
So I tried my first tryout was the NBA G League. So out of 200 people, Jody, I was the last 25 to still be there.
Woo-hoo, wow.
Yeah. And of course, I was the smallest one. So right there, Jody, that's when the light shined on me. It was like, okay, Jonte, you could do this. You could compete at the next level. And so right there, that gave me hope.
Yeah.
And I went back home and just, extremely happy, extremely proud of that situation that happened. Even though I didn't make it, I was happy where I stood at the time. And out of that 200 tryout, 200 player tryout, last 25, one person made it.
Wow.
6'8", Jody. He was 6'8".
Wow.
6'8". 6'8". But right there, that gave me hope. So I wasn't worried. I mean, it hurt that they didn't call me back, but I got confidence.
You're definitely like a palm tree. You
Oh, thank you,
get
Jody.
bent down, you get bent, but you pop right back up again. And you're like,
Thank you,
let's
Jody.
go. Let's go.
Thank you,
What's
Jody.
next? Let's go. And that is
Thank you.
so much mental. I mean, that is
Yeah,
a
it is
lot
mental. It
mental.
is.
Yes.
It is. So after that, Jody, that tryout, that was like some light shining right there. And then after that, trying out different minor leagues. At this time, I'm getting desperate. I'm like, okay, I want to play pro ball. I don't care what it is. I don't care if it's the NBA, whatever. I just want to play pro ball. And so throughout all this, Jody, and I'm about to get to the next light
I like
that
it.
that God shined on me.
Yes.
So all this going on, Jody, and it was like, okay, wow, all these doors is shutting in my face. Like, I don't know what else to do. Like, and at the time, I'm still working. I'm doing janitorial work. I'm taking that in pride. Like, okay, this is my job. So then, Jody, I got on the computer at work. I wasn't supposed to be on the computer. So I emailed, I was emailing agents, sports agents, right? That's when I felt God presence. I emailed agents, sports agents, and I just felt a presence just back me up like this.
Yeah, I got chill bumps. Yeah.
Yes. I'm like, what's going on? And I felt God presence said, you know what, Jonte, I got it. You relax. You've done enough. You've done enough.
Wow.
So, Jody, and this was like, I already emailed the Washington Generals general manager. So I'm gonna change the subject a little bit, Jody.
You're good.
So all the listeners out there, you have to be patient. Like when you have an opportunity and let's say you apply for a job and they don't respond quick enough for you, you have to be patient.
It's good.
You have to like sit and just wait on God and say, you know what? I'm gonna be patient. I know it's gonna work out. Bam. Okay. So getting back to my conversation. So that situation, Jody, I already emailed the generals, but I got impatient. So I was emailing agents to help me out to play ball. So because I was gonna give it one more shot, Jody, you know, having doors shut on my face, et cetera, et cetera. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna give it one more shot. I'm gonna go all out, all out. So got impatient and I felt that God presence, like, Jonte, stop, you've done enough. You made that connection and let me take it from here. And then maybe back off the computer, Jody. And I said, okay, I'm gonna be patient. Logged out, Jody, look, logged out. I'm done. And so I got that call and I was a Washington General.
What call did you get?
So Jody, so that was the call, the Globetrotters opponents, the Washington Generals. So I played with them.
Say that again.
Okay, the Harlem Globetrotters opponents, the Washington Generals. They are the guys that we play against. The Globetrotters play against every game. So they are the Globetrotters opponents, and they travel with us and all that stuff. So, and the guy gave me an opportunity, Jody, and I was like, wow.
How did you feel when you got that phone call? How did you feel when that phone call?
So
here you are, like, let's just say, you know, it's you've been in mud. I mean,
I know, a lot of mud.
And you really did overcome fear so many times in your life through your faith, because you believed that God was taking you somewhere and you knew you were going to play pro ball. You knew this was going to happen. Even if everything looked like you weren't going to, you never stopped. I want you guys to hear this, that are listening. Never stop, because there comes that point when God's like, okay, you've had the faith, you've done well, let me take it from here. And that's exactly what happened. So when you got this phone call, did you think it was a real phone call or a prank call, or like what were you thinking?
Jody, can I elaborate on what you just now said to the listeners?
Please.
Okay, so guys, so what Jody is saying is every situation you may be in, you might not be, going back to what I just said, I had to work a regular job first. So they are pit stops.
Yes.
So we all go through pit stops. That's not where I want to be at. And I'm sure that's not where the listeners want to be at. But you have to do that for God to get comfortable enough. And okay, you passed the test. Now you're ready for your ultimate goal, your ultimate dream. Yeah. So we all go through that. We all like, dang, we all ask God, like, why am I here? Like, why you got me in this situation? I gotta have too much education. I'm too talented to be here, you know? So it's like, okay, you have to appreciate it. You have to show God that you humble enough to appreciate what's in front of you instead of like complaining and like, God, why you got me here? I don't deserve this. But God is testing you.
So good.
You know? Yeah. So Jody, I had to elaborate on that. I had to elaborate on that.
Yeah, because you're so right. I mean, it's servanthood. Yeah. It's exactly what it is. I used to clean toilets. I mean, I used to wash people's hair. I used to have to do things. I hated it, and I never understood because I knew I was destined for more, and I didn't understand.
It's hard.
But like you said, you got to, and guys, Jesus was a carpenter before he was a king. Yep. He had to be a carpenter, and people thought, oh, he's just a carpenter. He's nobody. But he knew he was destined to be a king. So, yes, on that. Okay, so you get the phone call.
So get back to the phone call. Okay. So get back to the phone call. So the guy was like, Jonte, and I wasn't getting a lot of money. So this was when the Washington Generals wasn't under the same umbrella as the Globetrotters. And it was a different organization. So it was like, gave me the contract. The contract wasn't a lot. But I didn't care, Jody. I wanted to play pro basketball.
Yes.
I was happy to be out of the hood and doing something I love to do. And I was like, it blew my mind. I was like, wow, I made it.
Yes.
I made it. So
All that hard
it
work,
was
all
like,
that,
whoa,
yes.
yeah, all that hard work paid off. And at this time, I'm like 26, turning 27. So all the listeners, I know if you're a sports player, whatever. So it doesn't matter your age. As far as athletes like basketball, football, whatever, I know they want you to come out of college at 21, 22. Age just a number. Your faith, your heart is going to lead you into your ultimate goal. So you can't get caught up in your situation, your age. If you love something with so much, with a passion, you can make it. You can make it.
Good. So good.
Yeah.
So tell us, I mean, it's so incredible. So tell us, how did it come about you co-authoring the book? How did
Okay.
that happen? Tell us what kind of where you are today, what's going on with you.
Okay.
Share that with us.
Yes. So my first book, co-authored. Well, both of the books are co-authored by me. So I co-authored both books. So I want to say this Keep Smiling was my first co-author book. Friend of mine, Ken Rashawn, see him on the back. So
Yep.
Ken Rashawn now this is a local Charm City book. So this is only in Maryland.
Okay.
I'm sorry, the DMV, DC, Maryland, Virginia. These are all the entrepreneurs that's in our area, and they have there's stories in here.
I love
There's
that.
story, yes,
I
yes.
love that
So
it says shift happens.
yes,
Because we
yes,
wait for
yes,
that shift.
yes.
I love that so much.
Yep. So big shout out to my good friend Ken Rashawn. He
Yes.
believed in my story, and he like Jonte, it's done. You from Baltimore, you from Maryland, it's done. And so he gave my own chapter in here,
That is
and
awesome.
I'm in the back of the book also.
So is that book
So
for sale like on Amazon?
yes,
Or,
both books
okay.
are from on Amazon. Yes, both
Okay.
books.
And we'll
And my
link
next
below.
book, yes. So my next book is Spiritual Fitness Survivor. A good friend of mine I met on Facebook. His name Emilio. Emilio, a good friend of mine. And he said, Jonte, I love your story. I love what you're doing. What do you like to be a co-author in my book? I said, oh, absolutely. So I have my own chapter 8 in here. And you get this on Amazon as well.
Okay.
Yep. So that's what I'm up to now, everybody. I stepped down from the Globetrotters. Now I'm a motivational speaker, mainly elementary and middle school. Just share my story and give these kids hope. So I stepped away from the Globetrotters. Oh, Jody, I got to get into the Globetrotter story too.
Yes, you do. Tell us, because you just
Yes,
shocked
yes,
everybody. They're like, hold up,
I
what? You
know,
stepped away
I
from
know.
what? Wait, we didn't hear about that.
Yes, yes, yes.
Tell us.
So after the gym, we left off on the Washington Generals.
Yes.
So after the Generals, the Globetrotters, the players, they like, Jonte, man, you good at what you do, man. Would you like to be a Globetrotter? I said, no.
Wow.
I said, no, I don't think I'm good enough for that, man. No, thank you. I'm happy where I'm at. So Jody, it was like, I still,
So wait,
when I
stop. Wait, stop. So
go ahead.
you turned down
No, the players,
the players.
'cause
That's what I'm saying.
yeah,
You turned them down. So you went from like a little boy in high school that probably just wished that these people would ask
yep,
you to play with them or be with them. And now you got the big dogs and you're like,
yep,
no, thank you.
yep, yep. Because Jody, I was happy where I was at. Like
Yeah.
I got content. So
Yeah.
everybody that's listening, never get content. Because when you have faith,
Good advice.
confidence, and you have heart, sky's the limit. So Jody, so they were telling me like, Jonte, I think you have what it takes to be a Globetrotter, man. I can get your tryout.
Wow.
So like so it wasn't until one of the managers, the scouts, said, Jonte, man, you awesome. Like, you want to try out? Like, wow, they weren't lying. That I'm like, man, I could do it. So the guy was like, I'm gonna give you a tryout. Gave me a tryout, Jody, and never forget, I was working and I got a phone call.
You're
The
good.
guy was like, Jonte, I got some bad news. I said, oh, man, lay it on me. Scratch my head just like this. He was like, you are no longer, I'm sorry, hold on.
You're okay.
You are no longer a Washington General. You're a world famous Harlem Globetrotter.
What?
Yep. Yeah. So I started crying like a baby. I called my mom.
Oh my
and
gosh,
it was
I got
like,
chills.
wow, I made it. I made it. So it was like, wow. It blew my mind.
That was that break, right? That was
Yes.
everything
Yes.
you fought for, and that was that
Yes.
break.
Yes.
Because you
Jody, it
did
was like,
not give up. You kept
yes.
going. You kept pushing forward.
Yes.
Wow.
And Jody, and I done that Globetrotter stuff for 8 years. I did the generals for a year and a half. So altogether, I was traveling for like 10 years, 57 countries, all 50 states, Jody. So I go from my height being like a curse, like you're not gonna never make it, you're too short, to like being in the history books of being the first shortest Harlem Globetrotter team history. You know?
That's
So
incredible.
a little kid from the projects
Yes.
go from that to this, you know? So
Yes.
it's like, yeah, so it's like, wow, God will blow your mind. And
Wow.
yeah, Jody, I'm on my second passport.
That is incredible. Oh my
Thank you.
goodness.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
And so, and like you said, I'm like completely like, whoo, because
Yeah.
I knew, I thought that you were, you had played for the Harlem Globetrotters. I was pretty sure of that, but I
Yeah.
wasn't going to say that until you
Yes.
said that. So I was kind
Yes.
of like letting that be yours to say.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so everybody listening, he went from the projects to being a Harlem Globetrotter to
First
traveling
shortest
all around the
history.
world, and yet the
Yep.
shortest, because
Yep.
I'm just so speechless because I just love
Yep.
how God works. It's
Yes.
like
God will
you
work.
were the
God will
David
work.
among a lot of Goliaths,
Yes. Yes.
but you did
And
not stop.
yes. And God, like everybody that's listening, like we're not gonna get it when we want it. Like
So
you just we get tested by our faith. You know, God wanted to test you. And I'm still learning to this day. You know, God wanted you. I think if you're gonna pray, don't worry. I think you should pray and just let go, let God. And don't worry about it. Just leave it with him, and then the rest is history. And that was my problem growing up. I worry while I pray at the same time. And when I stop worrying and just have faith, and
that's so
yes,
good.
it's
And that's
happening.
so true. I have to tell myself 24 hours a day, that's it. 24
Yes,
hours a day. What happens tomorrow will be that day, 24 hours
it
a day.
is, Jordan. Yes,
It's a
I agree.
lot easier when you live that way, because when you try to see the
Guys,
future
what's up?
or push the future or
Yep,
control the future,
yep.
yes. So you just kept persisting and being, and I'm just so proud of you. I'm so
Thank you,
honored
Jordan.
to know you. Jonte, I'm
Same here.
so honored to know you. You're
Same you,
such a
Jordan.
blessing. So that's our time. Everybody listening and watching, I know they're probably going to know more about you, reach out to you. You said you do
Yes,
motivational speaking. So even
yes.
once we get out of this mess that we're in with the coronavirus, and we get back to being able to speak in schools, which I can not think of anybody else that could be more inspirational than you to talk to
Thank
students
you, Jordan.
because of what you have overcome. Absolutely. Absolutely. So tell everybody listening how they can get in touch with you online. Tell us about your shirt. Tell us about
Yes,
what you got going on.
yes. So everybody, this is my brand, Jonte Not So Small. It's my brand. It's a self-description of me as a kid, spinning in the basketball. Basketball is my gift. There's a shadow coming from my heart. That means there's a big person, all of us. The backpack on my back, that means knowledge is the key. We need knowledge. So not so small doesn't necessarily mean you too small. So they might think you too small to be a lawyer, mean your education. They may think you don't have enough education to be a lawyer. So you're never too small to do anything. You can do anything you put your mind to. And I live off this quote I'm about to say. As long as your heart stands tall, you're not so small.
Love it.
Yes,
Yes.
yes. And
Yes.
then my social media outlets are Facebook, Jonte Hall, Instagram, Jonte Not So Small, Twitter, Jonte Not So Small. Make sure y'all holler at me. You have all my links.
Love it. Thank you so much, Jonte. You
Thank you
just
for having me, Jody.
totally made my whole entire night,
Thank you,
day.
Jody.
I'm just so excited about where God's going to continue to take you, because
Thank you, Jody.
I know that there's going to be so many doors that are going to continue to open for you. And most importantly, you're going to keep inspiring people and motivating people to not quit. And
Thank
that
you,
even
Jody.
though everybody tells you. So did any of those family members get back in touch with you? The ones that said to you,
Yes, yes,
you know, I
actually,
gotta
yes,
ask.
yes. They try to say, I knew, oh man, I knew he was gonna make it. I knew he was gonna make
Uh-huh.
it. I said, okay, but you know what? I said, you know what? You did.
Yeah,
You know, I beat him with kindness. Beat him with kindness.
absolutely. Humble is
Yeah.
always perfect. Humble and
Yes.
kind, always.
Absolutely.
But it feels good, man. It feels good
Yes.
though, to
It's a blessing, Jody. It's a blessing.
yes, absolutely. Well, thanks guys so much for watching. My name is Jody Paar. I appreciate you for listening and watching. Jonte, again, thank you so much. Make sure you
Thanks for
share
having
this
me.
video, guys. You never know who needs to see it, who needs to
Yes.
watch it. Sharing's caring. Please share it. Thank you so much again, one more time, Jonte, for everything. See you guys later.
See you,
Bye.
everybody.